Hey guys, welcome to Para-Ops, Open-Minded Paranormal Skeptics. I'm your host, Sky, and tonight we've got a few different people, so we're going to head over to our senior case manager.
Hi, I'm Marlena, senior case manager, and I'm also a chaos magician on the team.
And tonight we have our special guest.
I'm Don DiCristofaro. I'm founder of a group called Greater Boston Paranormal Associates, obviously out of the Boston area. We're the home team aboard USS Salem, which is in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Okay. That's exciting. We get to go there, right?
I know, yeah.
Salem.
Can't wait.
I was saying to Marlene, you're going to love the ship.
We are. I've never been on a ship.
Oh, yeah. It gets crazier by the week, it seems.
Ooh. So by the time we get there, there's going to be plenty going on.
Yeah, it should be completely ridiculous.
That sounds like a good time. And we're going to be there for the veteran charity event in June?
July 1st.
July 1st. Okay. My dates are all over the place. We're busy.
Yeah, July 1st.
All right. We're excited. And thank you for joining us tonight, Don.
You bet.
For those of us that are joining as viewers, feel free to throw in the comments what you think about the clip that we're going to show you. Tonight, it's a clip from Colossal Radio, local to us, Palmerton, Pennsylvania. It's a music store, correct, Marlena?
Yeah, it's a music store and music school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of us were on the team, so unfortunately, nobody here tonight was there to be able to give anybody some kind of back history to what's going on in the clip. But we have an SLS man show up right after Laurissa's EVP recorder was turned on. So you ready, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a mad scientist there.
Yeah, me. That's what I am. A real mad scientist. Oh, that's going pretty fast.
It's your EVP. It touched your vest.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Weird.
Put it on the desk.
I thought I was losing my mind for a second.
Larissa, put it on the desk so you don't hit the buttons on your vest.
What do you think, Don?
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I for a long time I was very skeptical about SLS in general. But we had a few things happen last season that really turned me around. And, you know, watching that clip, the first thing, this is just myself, the first thing I always look at is, you know, what the heck could the thing be mapping? You know what I mean? And you know what I'm talking about. It could be a coat rack. It could be any number of things. In this case, there's really nothing there. You know, it's mapping, it looks like on the window, it looks like a window. And the fact that it kind of moves up there and moves back when the camera is steady, you know, that's kind of interesting. That looks like a pretty good clip to me.
Okay. So you had like a rough go around with SLSs in the beginning, but now
I don't know that I'd say rough going. You just look at them and, you know, you just think it could be any number of things. And, you know, we started using it on investigations, and we never really got a whole heck of a lot. We had an interesting thing at the Conjuring House where there was a piece of gear on the fireplace hearth, and there was what looked like an SLS, we'll call it entity for lack of a better term, in the fireplace itself. And it was just kind of there until one of my guys reached down to grab the piece of equipment that was on the hearth, and watching the SLS, it looked like whatever was in there kind of reached out to grab his hand. It was kind of a neat looking clip. But nevertheless, it was, you know, it's like it was in the fireplace. But we've had some things since then, both on the ship and and at a couple of other locations, and I've become kind of a proponent of SLS at this stage of the game. That may be just because we use it a lot more than we had for a while. But yeah, I can honestly say I'm an SLS guy at this point.
I think we would probably have to agree with you on the SLS, especially when you're getting a couple of things happening with the SLS popping up at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it always helps when, when there's other equipment, when there's thing corroborating, everything going at the same time. That certainly helps. I know that we have a great clip from a location called the Emory Estate, which is in Weymouth, Massachusetts. It's about 10 miles from the ship, if that. And in one of the upstairs bedrooms, there's a young child by the name of Timothy. And we have a great SLS clip. 3 of us were up in the bedroom, and there was what looked like a small figure on the SLS. And at one point I said, look, I'm going to go over and stand next to it. So I went over, and now on the clip, of course, you have me standing there, and you have this thing that comes up to about my waist. And it's a great clip because at some point I said, are you Timothy? And he raised his hand. And then I said, well, you probably don't know this, but my little boy's name is Timothy. And this entity literally tucked itself under my arm so that my arm was around it. It was the craziest thing.
Oh, that's
and
sweet.
That clip ran for a little while. At one point it was on my left, and the guy said, hey, raise your arm. And I said, well, I'm trying, but it's really heavy. And if you watch the clip, you'll see that this little boy apparently is kind of hanging from my arm the way a child would.
That's nice.
Oh, it's
always cool when the children.
Amazing clip.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You got to show us sometime. That's really cool.
Yeah, I can send it along. We certainly have it.
Don, you have a couple of fans out here.
Oh,
We got Mondo Docs, Lawrence. He's
that's Lawrence.
That's great.
How you doing, buddy? Great guy.
And-
did some good work. And Lydia.
Yeah.
Spent some time on the ship. Lawrence does some great video work.
He does. Yeah. I've seen some of his stuff, and it is very good. Hey, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Hello, Terry, NSPS TV.
Hey.
Do you want to see the clip again to see if maybe there's anything else going on that we might have missed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
See if maybe it was mapping something and we missed it. Let's check it out.
Like a mad scientist there.
Yeah, me. That's what I am. A real mad scientist. That's going pretty fast.
It's your EVP. It touched your best.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Weird.
Put it on the desk.
I thought I was losing my mind for a second.
Larissa, put it on the desk so you don't hit the buttons on your desk.
Okay, so it's not a window. It's a bookcase or hutch. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost looks like one of the dining room hutches.
Yeah, something
Before it was Colossal Radio. It used to be a gym I worked out at, and I hated the upstairs. I did not want to go upstairs. I hated working out upstairs. And then that's when the team went in after Colossal Radio took it and bought it. Because I guess he was experiencing things. And then that's when they caught that. I love how they mess with her, though. They're like, we're going to click on your EVP recorder.
I didn't catch that that's what was happening at first.
Yeah.
I started turning, and I'm like, wait, did she hear something herself? And then it was her recorder.
Yeah, her recorder just went off.
But there was a REM pod. Was it a REM pod on the table?
I think it was the REM pod, and she was trying to play with the portal. I think she was trying to fix the portal. So all that was happening at the same time as them pushing her EVP.
Dawn, did you notice that it set the REM pod off? Like its leg looked like it went over and
Yeah.
it hit the REM pod?
What I did notice was that I saw it looked like a light on the REM pod, but I didn't hear it.
Yeah, that was odd.
I'm going to play it again. Because I thought I heard the REM pod. I didn't even take notice to the lights. Let's go again.
Like a mad scientist there.
Yeah, me. That's what I am. A real mad scientist. That's going pretty fast.
It's your EVP. It touched your vest.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Weird.
Put it on the desk.
I thought I was losing my mind for a second.
Laurissa, put it on the desk so you don't hit the buttons on your vest.
I heard the REM pod.
I did too, but now I'm not sure I actually saw the lights. It might have been a reflection.
Yeah.
I think I want to look for the lights now.
Oh my gosh.
I am. I'm going to play it again in a little bit. I'll wait though.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. So there's two entities being mapped. One of them is Laurissa herself. She's not an entity. And then there's
That we
the
know
other
of.
one. Yeah. Well, it's questionable. Yeah.
Meh.
And then we have the other one who sets off not only her EVP recorder, but the REM pod. And then he goes and scales the hutch.
Yeah.
And he looked kind of small, childlike almost. I don't know if SLS's map size in entities.
I mean, the experience I've had with SLS is that they're pretty good, pretty accurate in terms of size. We've had situations where we've mapped what we felt were children, but also adults, and the size has always been pretty correct from a relative standpoint. We've had on the ship, we've mapped a dog, and it was a pretty good clip because we have a little girl aboard the ship by the name of Lucy, who was sitting on a counter while the dog was on the floor below the counter.
Oh, wow.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, and Lucy's mother told us that she's afraid of the dog.
Oh.
Lucy is afraid of the dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe it's like a guard dog on the ship?
We don't know. I mean, no, other than the SLS, no one's actually seen it. We have a lot of audio. We think it came aboard during the earthquake and never left. So the time a dog ever would have been aboard, I believe.
Got it. That's really cool though, that it mapped it to look exactly like a dog.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And like I said, it was walking along on the bottom as she was up on the counter.
Huh.
So I guess her being scared and up on a counter, that's a very valid thing for mom to say.
Yeah, and I mean, we see her in that particular room a lot, but we'd never seen her there before.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I never seen an animal in SLS. Now I'm interested. Now I'm intrigued.
How many times have you mapped the dog?
Just that one time.
Just that one time. That's really
like I said, we have a lot of audio of the dog, but no one's ever actually seen it. And other than that one SLS clip, we don't have any photographs or video.
See, at the beginning, I was kind of like that with SLS too. I was like, well, what is it mapping? Is it mapping actual entities? Is it mapping? But then once I see Laurissa in action, she goes over there. And then he flips the SLS over and it's right there. I'm like, there's no denying that. You can't.
Well, and it kept mapping her.
Yeah, but when I'm talking about other investigations, when she's on other investigations, she'll be like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
somebody's in here, and she'll be like, it's over there, and then he'll, switch it over, and sure enough, over there, and she'll ask it to wave and stuff, and it'll wave. I'm like, what's going on? I remember my
It
first investigation going, what is this witchcraft?
it's a different experience being
Yeah.
on the other side of the SLS with Laurissa in front of it saying there's someone there, and then it just appears, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
It's a pretty neat experience. Don, Sarah would like to see she said she would love
Yeah,
to
one of these days, we'd love to see it as well. I mean, like I say, we have a lot of audio. There was somebody said they saw it one time outside the barber shop on the ship. So for a long period of time, every time I came aboard, I turned that barber chair towards the door and put a trap camera on the chair. But I never got anything. But one of these days, like I said, the ship is getting crazier by the week, it seems. So eventually, I would be shocked if we didn't eventually come across the dog visually.
And in July, that should be pretty hopping because you have July 4th right down the that week.
Yeah.
And then all those people.
How long have you been affiliated with the ship?
On and off, about 15 years. I mean, I got involved with the ship, honestly, before I knew she was haunted. And then once I found out she was haunted, that was the end. I've been there pretty much ever since. So, we're there, we certainly keep busy aboard the ship. We go other places and do other things. But the ship keeps us pretty busy. She opens the beginning of April and closes Thanksgiving weekend. So she keeps us hopping. By the time Thanksgiving rolls around, we're all ready to take a break for the holidays and relax for a little bit because we've been going. We're there almost every weekend, really.
It's really funny how that works, though. You get addicted to one place, and it's an addiction. Once you're in there and you get used to it, you just want to keep going back, like Hell House. We just want to keep going back.
Right. Well, I mean, the ship is, we're kind of the home team, as I said. So, we have private and public events aboard the ship. Private investigations for groups that want to come, and we also have public events. We have celebrity type events this coming fall. So far, we've got Brian Cano and Dustin Parry are going to do an event. Jeff Belanger will be there in May, I believe. And we have a Paracon in May 20th. That we did last year for the first time. That was pretty successful. So, like I said, we keep busy, and the ship is, we've been a lot of places, and we've done a lot of investigations. And I can honestly say that, every single time we come back and say, well, it was great, but it certainly wasn't the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent the night at the Sally House and in Villisca last June, and neither one of those places was anywhere near as active as the ship. So we're definitely spoiled, no question about it.
Do you have a website that you'd like me to put in the banner at the bottom?
Yeah, we do. Our website is thegbpa.com.
thegbpa.com.
EVPA. Yep. Greater Boston Paranormal Associates. That is our website. We're on Facebook as Greater Boston Paranormal Associates. We also have a Facebook page called USS Salem Paranormal Experience.
Oh,
which
awesome.
is where we put most of the evidence and stuff from the ship. If you look there, you'll see some pretty amazing stuff. The hospital is the hot spot aboard the ship right now, and there's some amazing videos from the Salem USS Salem Hospital where we're literally using REM pods, literally having 20-minute conversations where we ask, like, for instance, you're gonna find one clip. We had a woman aboard who looked like one of the entities' wives, one of the entities who was a sailor aboard the ship. So there's a clip that's on the Facebook page where one of our guys, Lou Calcagni, at the beginning of the clip, he says, and when she came in, she was standing over by Dawn, wasn't she? And nothing happens. And then he says, no, you're right. She was standing over by the hospital entrance, and again, nothing happens. And then he says, or was she standing next to me? And I'm going to say 4 REM pods and 2 or 3 paralights all go crazy at the same time. The clips you'll see in the hospital, that's what happens. We ask a question, and if the answer is correct, then we're talking about 4 REM pods going off.
Wow.
Not just one. It's crazy.
And we can watch that.
Yeah, they're all there.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I'm definitely going to do that.
It's all
Laurissa.
Hey, Laurissa.
It's all a result of research. We've gotten to know these guys. And I say that, and I know it sounds crazy, but we've gotten to know them.
It's not.
We know what they're doing there. We've kind of gotten a window into their souls, for lack of a better term. We know why they're there, and we know what upsets them, and we know the things they like to talk about. And,
yeah.
We know the entities that like it when there are big groups versus the entities that dislike it when we have a lot of people and are happier when it's just us.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. We have crew books that go back to the 50s when the ship was active. So some of the guys that we speak to now, we have pictures of them.
Wow.
You know what I mean? From when they were aboard the ship.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of work, but it's been well worthwhile, and we think they respond to that.
Yeah. Laurissa is reminding us of the charity event July 1st.
We talked about that. We're ahead of you.
You're at your Russell match. You missed it. And she's super excited. She can't wait to use her military prowess there on the
No,
Met.
Laurissa. You are the captain, and I am Gilligan. You're the skipper.
They may have an issue there because they're used to me being the skipper.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm Gilligan. She can be Mary or something. We'll put her hair in pigtails and braids.
Yeah, Marlena's her hairdresser. She's got it.
I got this.
Well, we're looking forward to that event. It's going to be, it's for a great cause, and anything that we can do for our veterans is something that we're interested in doing. So, and that's a big part of the ship. As I mentioned, Lou Calcagni previously, he and I are both Navy guys. So we bring a lot of that to the ship, and I think we get a lot of responses along those lines. So, we're really looking forward to that event. Everything, I always feel as though I need to make sure it's clear. All of the events we do aboard the Salem, every penny that we make goes to the ship.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, Greater Boston Paranormal Associates is an entirely nonprofit organization. The USS Salem and the United States Naval Shipbuilding Museum, they get every penny that we collect from those events.
And I know a lot of ships, they don't do that. They used to just take every penny for themselves, and then some of the ships went under.
Yeah.
So I'm happy you guys are doing that.
It's an expensive proposition.
Mm-hmm.
Literally keeping the ship afloat is an expensive proposition. So we're very, very happy. We've raised, during the pandemic year, of course, when things were a little slow, we were in the $25,000 neighborhood in terms of what we raised for the ship, and normally in a normal season it's between $40,000 and $55,000.
Whew.
So we're really happy to do it. And as I said, it's not like it's not a blast. You know what I mean? We have a great time.
I know we can't wait.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the ship. Even if even on a very rare inactive night, it's such a great location that people enjoy coming anyway. And we've gotten to meet a lot of great people that have come to visit. Sarah and Lawrence are two of the people that have become good friends, who we met because they came to visit the ship.
So they've been there and they investigated. They just haven't seen the dog.
Yeah, just
We'll be searching for the dog. I'm just saying, we will be searching high and low.
yeah. There are a couple of places that we've heard him more often than anywhere else, but based on the fact that we saw him in that room where Lucy tends to hang out, that was a whole new deal. So, that's one of the things about the ship, though, is really anything can happen anywhere. We really never, it's not like, well, nothing ever happens here. You just never know what's going to happen wherever you are.
That's very true. I want to go back. Oh, before my computer dies, I want to go back to what you had said about having like somewhat of a relationship with your entities on the ship, because before you said that, I was actually going to ask if you guys had some form of relationship.
Oh yeah, like I said, we've done a lot of work. Pat Connors and Lou Calcagni from my gang have done a lot of research, and we're at the point where, as I said, there's a guy in the hospital. His name is Frank O'Brien. He was a third-class machinist mate aboard Salem, and we have a picture of him in the cruise book. And this is a guy who didn't die aboard the ship, but he had there was an accident in 1956 where a destroyer called John R. Pierce was sailing with Salem, and there was an explosion aboard Pierce. One of the gun turrets exploded, and a destroyer being a much smaller ship, they brought the guys that were hurt over to Salem because Salem had a real hospital. And one of the guys who came over from Pierce was from Frank O'Brien's hometown.
Okay.
So both of those entities are in the hospital. Frank O'Brien is there looking for his friend, and the other guy is there on one of the bunks, still injured. And that's one of the clips I was talking about. We have a clip where one of the guys, Pat Connors, is saying, "So Frank, one of the guys that came over from the Pierce," and everything lights up. And he says, "Well, I'm going to read their names, and you let us know which is the right guy." And sure enough, all of the instruments went crazy when Pat named a guy who came from the same hometown as O'Brien did.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's amazing. It's amazing. And we're at the point where we try to trick them sometimes. Throw them curveballs when we're asking them questions.
Yeah.
And they never have any problem getting the answers right. It's mind-boggling. It really is.
Laurissa asked if we could show the clip again, so we're going to do it because I believe she did miss all the times that we showed it. All right. Here we go.
Like a mad scientist there.
Yeah, me? That's what I am. A real mad scientist. That's going pretty fast.
It's your EVP. It touched your best.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Weird.
Put it on the desk.
I thought I was losing my mind for a second.
Larissa, put it on the desk so you don't hit the buttons on your desk.
It's a nice clip. It just reminds me of
is.
the kids climbing.
You read my mind. I was just going to say, looking at it again, it really, from in terms of the motion, it really looks as though it's climbing that
It's
book.
trying to escape. Escape artist.
Laurissa says it's paranormal for sure. Do you
Yeah.
agree, Don? You'd say so.
Yeah, it's compelling, if nothing else.
What do our other viewers think? Larissa put in her input. Does anyone else think it's paranormal or not? I am going to play it one more time because there's a couple more of you that just joined. Now we get to watch the child.
Like a mad scientist there.
Yeah, me. That's what I am. A real mad scientist. Oh, that's going pretty fast.
It's your EVP. It touched your vest.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Weird.
Put it on the desk.
I thought I was losing my mind for a
Larissa,
second.
Larissa, put it on the desk so you don't hit the buttons on your vest.
Larissa,
Pretty
he
good
turned
clip.
my EVP recorder on and then hopped to my right. He absolutely did. He also hit your REM pod on the table, if that is what that was. That was very childlike in behavior sense, yes.
Mhm.
What do we got? Frank agrees it's paranormal. Thank you, Frank. Alan, I was there. I think it was paranormal also. He's our behind the
I don't
scenes.
know. I kind of like the mad scientist part. I'm just saying.
That is my favorite part.
That's my favorite part of it.
Dawn, did you enjoy the mad scientist part?
I most certainly did.
It's great.
Larissa said it was a doctor, not a child,
Oh, okay.
and a male doctor. So this kind of goes back into where we said about the size and it mapping correctly or incorrectly.
Yeah, because it didn't. It looked small.
Yeah. Larissa or Alan, do you have an input on the mapping of sizes with the SLS? Because I know at Hell House Friday night, we were mapping a very, very large man standing next to me. I don't know what that means because I'm 5 feet tall. Everybody is large next to myself. But again, we've mapped children that are children sized.
Yeah, yeah.
You've mapped a dog.
That's the first I've ever heard that too.
That is the like absolutely fascinating, and I really want to see the clip.
I know.
Yeah,
She
like I
said
said,
early
I,
1900s.
in my experience, it's been pretty accurate in terms of size.
She said they were small back then. The people.
Yeah, no, she's right. Generally speaking, in the early 1900s, generally speaking, people were smaller than they are now. So
Yep.
that's absolutely true. Sure.
Okay. I guess, yeah. I can't wait to get on the USS Salem to investigate. I've been on there during the day twice. Just impressive.
Yes.
Well, Ellen, you're right, and that's I just said that a minute ago. Even on a very rare night that it's not very active, it's just such a great location. It's a fascinating place, and if you were there during the day, then maybe you were fortunate enough to get down to the museum spaces, which are really, really great.
She's probably absolutely beautiful to see in person.
Yeah.
Well, she's one of the things I really love, is you can say ship all you want, and you can call it a ship all you want, but I love to be in the parking lot when people pull in and get out of their cars and get their first look at her, because no matter how many times you say ship, they haven't the slightest idea how big she really is until they see her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's over 700 feet long.
Oh, wow. Larissa has to run. She said bye, Dawn.
Okay, take care, Laurissa. We'll talk
Bye.
soon.
It's over 700 feet long. That's a very, very large ship.
Yeah.
I've I don't even know that I've seen like a ship that up close. That's going to be kind of intimidating for my short
Yeah,
self.
she's like I said, I mean, some of the battleship Massachusetts is shorter than Salem.
Oh, wow.
She's wider, of course, but that's how big she is. She is a beast.
That's
And that's the
amazing.
great thing about investigating there is you can break into quite a few small groups, and there's very little chance of contamination unless you coordinate badly.
So she's got layers to her inside.
Yeah, she's got decks. So like I said, we're pretty good when we coordinate. When we do public events, we usually have about 30 guests, and we break into well, the number of teams depends on how many people we have to guide, but we usually break into 4 groups, and you can spread out well enough that there's really no chance of contamination at all.
That's great. That's definitely a large space then.
You're correct. That's correct, Alan. At the time she was built, the shipyard was owned by Bethlehem Steel. They sold it to General Dynamics at some point. When I worked there, it was General Dynamics. But yeah,
so Bethlehem Steel built
the Salem. Yep.
And then held her. Okay, I didn't know that. That's really fascinating.
Yeah. Well, the Fort River Shipyard in Quincy, at one time was a massive facility. During World War II, they built more military ships at Fort River Shipyard than any other single location on the planet. And it was open for well over 100 years. They started building wooden ships, and they built some nuclear submarines there, and some other very, very large ships. So I was there. Actually, I worked there when the yard closed.
Wow.
Employees there.
Did you enjoy it?
It was even after my time in the Navy, working at the shipyard was an adult dose, no question about that. It was a great place to work, though. It kept the city going for many, many years. It was such a huge employer. That it kept going for many, many years. It was a blow when it closed.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're about at time. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you, Don.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That was really exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, looking forward to having you.
Yeah. So, guys, viewers, thank you for watching and putting in your comments. Don't forget, in July, we will be at USS Salem for a veterans charity event. And we hope that some of you join us because it is open to the public, and there are tickets that you can get on Eventbrite. Hell House, if you haven't been, if you have a team, if you're an individual that wants to go, get your tickets for that as well. It's a great place. I promise it does not disappoint.
We're going to have to talk about that.
Huh?
We're going to have to talk about that.
Oh, yes.
Get my gang out there.
We absolutely are. All right, guys. I'm going to play the clip for you all one last time, and then we'll head on out our way.
Like a mad scientist there.
Yeah, me? That's what I am. A real mad scientist. That's going pretty fast.
It's your EVP. It touched your vest.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Weird.
Put it on the desk.
I thought I was losing my mind for a second.
Laurissa, put it on the desk so you don't hit the buttons on your vest.
All right, guys.
The clip actually gets better the more you watch it. I mean, you see more details, you see more things that you missed. Every time you watch it, that's pretty good. Alan, I'm looking forward to meeting you too, my friend. I won't hold the Marine thing against you, but but it'll be nice to meet you, man.
All right. On that note, keep an open mind, guys. Good. Get out there and explore your fears. And we hope you enjoyed our show. If you view this later, throw it in the comments. Is it paranormal or not? Have a good night. Thank you to everyone.
See ya.
I know.